This is the first view of the Junkyard Special Model 92 Maytag. It's 3 coats of dark hunter green Rust-Oleum spray can. It's a pretty good paint. I've had real good luck with it. It's a pretty decent match to the original Maytag green. Might as well to mask everything off. I'm going to leave this engine to dry for a couple of days. That ain't gonna happen. I'll have it put together before the Junkyard Special. It's a Model 92 washing machine motor, 3 coats Rust-Oleum spray can. Okay, we got it off of the paint rack. The engine is totally dry. The last 10 or 15 minutes I have spent adjusting the end play on the crankshaft. These are available at some of the bigger hardware store supply houses, these shims. And they come in different thicknesses. What I have been doing just now is adjusting this end play. The felt washer goes here, and then you put your shims here, and the shims fits inside this housing right here. I ended up with a 32 thousandths one, and a 7 and a 20. You adjust this before you put your felt washer on there. But your felt washer goes over that boss right there. This is a felt washer I have saved out of another engine. Your shims goes on. A couple of drops of oil. And this is a new taper pen. I did saw a slot in it to open it up. And I have already adjusted this. And before that, I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm putting the taper pen in there. And before I put the felt washer on there, the way I did this, and I do have a dial indicator, and it's just not necessary on this right here, as long as you have got some play. And you hold the engine tight, and you move that back and forth, and you should have none but some. It's kind of confusion. There is not a specification in the book on this end plate. You want it to be tight, but also free. So if you were to come up with 1/2 of a thousandths end play, I think it would probably be perfect. And this one just barely moves. I'm not going to get the dial indicator out, but it does have some movement, so that's good, because they will wear in. But what I did, I've got the felt washer, I've got 3 shims, and I'm going to drive the taper pen in, and now I will take a cold chisel, a thin one, and that's all it takes. And I will touch up the paint, and I'll touch up the ends of that right there. That way I don't leave any bare metal exposed. That's good to go. We're finished with that. And I'm going to put the 4 balls in. All those starter balls, you put 1 in each pocket, 4 of them, and just a small drop of oil. You do need some in there, but very, very little. Just drop this in. Well, we're good to go. A cotter pen. Cotter pin. Now we're good to go. Okay, we have the segment gear on there with the 4 balls. I have put the pin in, a cotter pin in the back of that. That's the one that we made. This is a new one. I'm going to remove this bolt that I had in here for the paint job. Remove that. The bolt that I'm going to put in the gas tank, as always, you put just a little dab of sealer on those threads, as it does go all the way through the tank. I'm going to put the segment gear on here. A little bit of oil right there where it goes together, not much. A little bit of oil on the shaft right under like that. I also have found out through the years, if you put this spring onto the front mounting and onto the kick pedal before you put it on the engine, it's a lot easier to do. This spring here is cadmium plated. I didn't want to use this spring, and I may change it. I just don't like cadmium plating on these old engines. Then, when you install it onto the engine, you just pull that back there like that, slide it. Well, let's just carry on being we were. You put this right up here like this, put it right on yonder, slide it right up there, put this bolt right in yonder. We are making progress. Set that in there, hold a little pressure in yonder. I'm holding on the pin and the housing. Tighten up that set screw. Not excessive. I will touch up this bolt in the front of the housing. And again, we are working with cast iron here. Keep that in mind. It's really easy to break these cast iron parts, especially parts that has been heated. Okay, that's pretty tight. I'm going to go with that. I've got plenty clearance, everything's tight. I'll touch up that with the green paint. I'm going to touch up the end of this just for cosmetic. We'll put the segment cover over there. And just another little tidbit of info from the original. If you were restoring this engine, the washer that is on this ball oiler, it's a thin washer. It's just one of those things that Maytag did. That's quite tight enough.